Hello.
Is this it?
Yes, so far. So I started a little early and we'll record it and
Okay.
get going. I do have the PowerPoint, so whenever y'all want me to pull that up.
Okay. So when did you get it off the Teams folder?
Just now. So I found the one that was
Okay.
updated about 4 hours ago. I think it said when I opened Teams, is that the most up-to-date one?
It probably is because I know that I had updated and I sent a message to Patrick.
Hmm.
And when I was talking to Tony, I showed him where it was in Teams and I said, well, it's just updated a few seconds ago by Patrick. So I
Yeah,
figured he got his stuff in there.
sure did. I'll give everyone just another couple of minutes to get on here just in case. Well, just in the interest of everyone's time, I know it's after hours for a lot of folks, so we will go ahead and get started if everybody's ready. So welcome to the HHP Virtual Academic Night. We're very excited to have y'all with us. My name is Jennifer Cranford. I am the Director of Learner Success and Support in the College of Health and Human Performance. I will be the Wizard of Oz behind the screen for most of this. So I will turn it over to our wonderful faculty and staff to introduce themselves and take it away.
I guess I'll go first since I feel like looks like I'm at the top of the list here. My name's Jeff Pizzatella, and I'm the program coordinator for physical education. And Mike Dawson, who is not here, is our co-coordinator for our coaching science concentration within physical education. I'll throw it to Tony.
Yes, I'm Tony Coolis. I am the chair for the Department of Kinesiology.
I'm Dave Kimball, program coordinator for our minor in strength and conditioning, and also assist with our exercise physiology applied degree option. I'll be filling in for Mrs. Lisa Fredrickson, who is the program coordinator for exercise physiology, but she is busy coaching soccer this evening.
I have little kid T-ball after this, so I feel that. But I'm not coaching. And then I see we have some other folks up here and some student ambassadors. Let's do our advisors.
My name is Denasia Maven. I am one of the academic advisors for the exercise physiology major. I work with the first half of the alphabet. Sometimes I get some stragglers at the end of the alphabet, but last name A through L ish. I'm going to be your advisor. Well, I would be their advisor.
And good evening. I'm Audrisha Nevels. I am the other academic advisor for exercise physiology, and I have the latter half of the alphabet, so M through Z, and again, any stragglers at the beginning of the alphabet. But we are your two advisors.
And then I see we have some student ambassadors. Do y'all want to introduce yourselves as well?
Yeah, my name is Eli Gardner. I'm a junior here at ECU, majoring in exercise physiology. I'd like to go to medical school eventually. A couple things I'm involved with on campus. I'm the assistant chief of campus EMS. I'm obviously an ambassador for the HHP. I'm in the honors college, and I also lead a Bible study on Monday nights. So,
And my name's Waylon Sloan. I'm a junior and I'm studying physical education. I'm involved in Honors College and I'm an ambassador for the College of Health and Human Performance.
I think that's everybody.
Now I'm going to bring up the end. I'm Whitney. I'm in
Yes.
the Office of Undergraduate Admission. So I'm here to support in any general admissions questions or anything that you may all have. So I'll be kind of in the background as well.
Thanks, Whitney. I was going to say we have a friend from admissions with us.
Yes.
Perfect. So
Yes.
I will go into the background and I'll start sharing the presentation for y'all. Okay, I'm
And
hoping you're
while
looking at my screen.
Yes, and while you're finishing setting up, if everybody would mind just putting their name, first and last name in the chat, I'm just taking attendance again on the back end. So if y'all could do that, that would be wonderful.
So I guess I will start. And if there are any questions throughout all of this, please put them in the chat. I have the chat up myself so that we can kind of keep track of some of the questions. This, because of our offerings that have over the last couple of years have grown a little bit, we have quite a extensive amount of offerings overall. And so we want to make sure we can get through the material as well as have time for questions and hopefully answers as well that you may have. Typically, that's what we do is we try to tailor as best we can with the audience overall. So, Jennifer, if you're in control of this, I can't forward this, but some of the you can go to the next slide. Some of this material, when we get into each of the degree options, we might kind of skip over a little bit just because we want you to see the big picture overall. But if you're on this virtual academic night, hopefully what you'll understand is everything that we do. This slide is perfect, Jennifer. Thank you. Everything that we do as a department really has to do with studying human movement and physical activity in some way, shape, or form. We have 3 undergraduate bachelor's degrees, and actually the second one down needs a little bit of a modification, but I'll get to that in a minute. So we have a Bachelor of Science in Exercise Physiology. We have a Bachelor of Science in Physical Education and Coaching Science, as well as a Bachelor of Science in Sport Performance Sciences. So again, everything that we do really has to do with human movement. And as we go through these, I know Dave is going to talk about the BS in exercise physiology. We have some slides that have a lot of coursework on there. We're probably not going to get into the nitty gritty of those because we want to have enough time to make sure we can go through all of these things, as well as we have a minor in strength and conditioning that Dave will also talk about. So if you want to advance the slide there, Jennifer, that would be great. Dave, you want to take it from here?
I will. And as Tony alluded to, I am not Mrs. Fredrickson, but I will pretend to be her as best I can, but pretty big shoes to fill. So yeah, you can go ahead and advance the slide. Exercise physiology is going through right now an accreditation process. We're starting that this semester through ACSM, and what that'll allow our graduates to do is to sit for the American College of Sports Medicine's gold standard certification, which is the Certified Exercise Physiologist. And what that does is it opens up a lot of career opportunities in health and wellness. We have 2 concentrations. We have a pre-health concentration. Those graduates of that program are looking towards going on to a pre-health professions advanced degree. So that could be physical therapy, athletic trainer, physician's assistant, dental school, med school, you name it. That program will cover all the prerequisites needed for any of those advanced degrees. And then we have our applied exercise physiology, which is actually a merger between a concentration that I directed beforehand, which is our health fitness specialist degree option, and in our exercise physiology. Regardless of the concentration that you take, there's a core set of classes that all of our students take, and those are biomechanics, exercise physiology, exercise testing, and prescription. Resistance training, and I'll add a little caveat to that resistance training class because we just got this approved on Friday. There will be a lab associated with that too, so students will have hands-on experience from that one as well. And then exercise prescription for clinical pops and exercise adherence. And yeah. And again, as I made reference earlier, the pre-health professional track has a lot of prerequisites built in for advanced degrees. And again, this could be for physical therapy school, athletic training, um, med school, physician's assistants, dental school. A lot of our graduates go all over from this particular degree option. So there's a lot more. And then there's an advanced exercise physiology class, ECG and stress testing, and then research opportunities, which is important regardless of the degree that you get into. But it's specifically this degree in pre-health professional because you're going to go on onto an advanced degree, and so it's going to have some form of research involved in it. And so we believe that getting our students involved in research early is important for their overall development, and then true to to really understand, kind of get you exposure to that, but to understand what you're going to get into in graduate school. And then our applied concentration, again, there's an introductory class, what we call a survey class, and that's a really neat class. We brought that over from Health Fitness, where we bring former graduates in. They present to our students and talk about the vast variety of careers they can go into after graduation. We also have a physical activity class across the lifespan. Group leadership, which is a class that you see on your screen here. That's a course that we've been teaching for quite some time. And then at the end, our students in this degree option, instead of doing research, they will go on and do a internship. And we encourage those internships to go anywhere that you can. If you have the ability to go across the country, go to California, go anywhere you want to, that you don't have to stay in Greenville for that internship. And we encourage you, if you have the means to do so, to get out there and branch out a little bit, especially if we're talking to a lot of students, potential students today that are from North Carolina. If you can get outside of North Carolina, we encourage you to do that. Some various degrees. I'm not going to read them all off to you. We've kind of touched on a lot of them. But you can see from kind of on your left side of the screen, very applied. That would be that applied concentration. And on the right side, you have more of your pre-health professional tracks, which all of those are going to take an advanced degree to some capacity. I left chiropractic school off, and we just had a graduate get accepted into several chiropractic schools. So I shouldn't have left that one off because I worked with him individually last year too. So. And I'll be glad to answer questions at the end. I'll be back on in a little bit to talk to you about the strength and conditioning minor.
Okay, my name's Jeff Pizzatella, and just want to talk about the two different concentrations within physical education. And as Dr. Coolis alluded to on our first slide, we need to make some adjustments to the title. It's kind of an exciting time within our department. We had one degree option leave, and that opened up the door for us to be a little bit more creative in how we structured our department. And I feel like the three majors and the concentrations that we have within kinesiology are outstanding. They're kind of cutting edge on some we've looked at some research and some data to kind of tailor these to the job market. And so as I talk through these, and Jennifer, I really go off the rails with these slides. So maybe I'll just like raise my hand when you can change the slide because I usually don't follow it. Um, but anyway, if you want to change to the next slide there, Jennifer. All right. So within our physical education, and this has come on board, our new concentration this year. So this fall is the actual onboarding of the new coaching science concentration. We've already had the teacher prep concentration within physical education for as long as I can ever remember. I'm an ECU grad from way back in the 80s, and the kinesiology department was just physical education even before that. So we're still hanging on and staying in this department. Our program is smaller, only because of just some I would say trends in education. across the country, not just in North Carolina. But I can say this about teacher preparation. We do have 100% job placement when our students graduate. I can say that unequivocally. They're highly sought after. Most of them are committing to jobs before their end of their internship. So it's a great option there. And then as we get to coaching science, I'll talk about how that applies to our teacher prep and how we can backdoor into teacher education if we needed to, and also some jobs available for that. Okay, so just our information up here. My name, like I said, is Jeff Pizzatella, and the coaching science concentration co-coordinator is Mike Dawson, and his information is there. All right, so within the physical education teacher preparation concentration, what we really try to do in our program is to get our students in the schools from the first year. And we try and place them each year in controlled settings and then eventually into an internship. So we start off with a kind of, I've called an anchor course where they get out and I send them in to do observations for elementary physical education, high school or secondary physical education, and also adapted physical education. And then after that, we transition into a beginning teaching class, and then we start doing practicums with elementary, middle, and high school, and then they transition into their internship, which is the last year. One thing unique, and you're fine with that. One thing unique is that we work towards two specific things in teacher preparation. Number one, you're working towards a degree in physical education, but secondly, you're also working towards your North Carolina teaching license, your A license. So you can graduate with a degree and not have a teaching license. But that's what we strive to do is you graduate with both there. This is just a slide that had some recent award winners over the years. I always pride myself and say I think we've got the most national teachers of the year by far in the state. But we also, I have, in recent years, we have students that have made an impact on the state level. Liz and Drew were student majors of the year for our state organization, and those two have done an amazing job as ambassadors for our program. But they also they've gone with us and presented at state and national conferences. So they've really put themselves in a position to be highly sought after. Okay, so the concentration, the coaching science concentration really focuses on providing our students the opportunities to um, get into the coaching realm. And where we're a little bit different in our concentration is that we have, when you come into physical education, and we'll have a next slide that's going to have our core courses. So all of physical education majors, regardless of the concentration, will follow a core and then we split off. And when we split off, the coaching science track is a minimum 2.0 GPA, then they'll have a set of core classes for the coaching science track. And then we'll also have our set of core courses for the teacher preparation. So I would say the first 2 years, everybody's together, and then we have that kind of off ramp either way for that. And you can go to the next one, I think. So I just pulled up something on the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and I just kind of typed in coaching science careers. And as we look at this, this gives you just a snapshot of the median pay, what they're looking for, a bachelor's degree. And interestingly enough, it's one of the fastest, or not one of the fastest, it's one of the above average or faster growing degree options or jobs within the country. So I think we're positioned in a good place to have a great concentration that can allow our students into the coaching realm outside of the high school level. And I'm not going to read through these, but this is an example of the Common Core courses that our teacher prep majors and the coaching science majors take within our program. And then if you go to the next one, this is the coaching core. That last one was the coaching core um, courses that our students take differently than what our teacher prep students take. And I think that is that the last slide. Yeah. Well, oh no. Well, okay. I have faces in the way of the words there. I just realized what it was. And we'll talk more about this later, but we do, and our department is awesome about providing opportunities for our students to actually um, attend conferences, whether it's attending as a student or presenting at conferences. And some of these pictures we have here, we attend a state conference every year, and we encourage our kids, and we're funded. Well, I would say not fully funded, but we're funded by the kinesiology in our college to help defray some of those costs. And then the top right picture is from our national conference that we attended in Seattle, Washington. And awesome experience for the students, opportunity for them to present at a national conference. And for most of them to go across the country, I think was a pretty cool opportunity for them.
Okay. Patrick Ryder is not here tonight, so I will bring you through our third degree option. And this degree option, along with the concentration of coaching science that Mr. Pizzatello just covered, you might not have seen much of them. They just were approved this past year, and they're brand new in our catalog this coming year. And so you may or may not have seen much promotion on these, but the faculty of the department are really excited about this degree option as
Mhm.
well, because we think it offers something complementary to what the other degrees are, but it obviously allows people to focus on this a little bit more than with the other degrees. So if you want to bring it forward there. So when we think about the term or the phrase sport performance science or sports science, we're really talking about people who love working with high performing individuals. Although sports themselves is a big part of this, this could also even extend to the military. High performing people. The military are very keen on keeping their people healthy at all times. So really, what sports science does, sport performance scientists, they really collect data and on the athletes or on the population in mind. They help to interpret the data. They give that data to the coach or the athlete, and to make recommendations and things like that. So if you think about it, it's a really great blend of if people have more analytical and they like data and they like data analytics and things like that, but they also want to be involved in sports or high performing populations, they can do that. So we think this separates itself from the other two degree options quite nicely in a non-competitive way.
Mhm.
But if you want to go to the next slide, please. And so, I've already started covering some of these right now, but there's a lot of different careers within sport performance science. And I just kind of highlighted, the sports scientists, but there are lots of other areas that you can move into. So when we look at the general core of sport performance science, you're going to see a lot of classes that have popped up in other degrees, and it's kind of a common core. And what sets our department apart from other departments is that we have biomechanics and motor control and exercise physiology, and these other classes that we think are really integral to what we want students to leave with when they graduate, regardless of their degree. But this degree also moves into the data analytics field. The sports analytics. We have Patrick Ryder teaches these classes in there as well. But we also want practical experiences. I'm not sure if you've seen, if you go to ECU News and look at some of the news releases from the university over the last year or so, they've highlighted the work that Mr. Ryder has done with the soccer team here. And the coaches really love working with him and our students in that they collect data, they kind of use this data and they interpret that data and give it to the coaches, and the coaches use it to try to optimize performance. Maybe they practice the kids too hard one day or too light one day and things like that. And within this degree option, it also allows you to have a minor. And that really depends. It allows the student to tailor it to what they want to do when they graduate. For example, on the last slide, you don't need to switch it to the last slide, but on the last slide, there's a picture of a former student, Jackson Pass. He's working for the Dodgers right now, and it was a huge benefit for him to minor in Spanish because with Major League Baseball, where a lot of the talent comes from, he was down in the Dominican Republic working for the Dodgers. And so he's applying the sports science concepts to his work, but obviously having a minor in Spanish was really beneficial. Some people might be more interested in the analytics side. And we partnered with the School of Business here, and they have some analytics classes that can really enhance the depth of the analytics that you would get in our degree program as well. Can you go to the next slide, please? All right. And so, yeah, this was Mr. Ryder's, the crouching one over on the right-hand side of the screen. This was last year when ECU soccer made became the American Conference champions and down in Florida. And it was great. Again, with sports science, it's really a blend of the analytical data collection types of skills. You're obviously front facing, you deal with athletes and coaches, and you work alongside them to create a great team, so to speak. You can go to the next slide. And I think we're about, yeah. So before Mr. Kemble starts, just to quickly review, we have 3 degree options: exercise physiology, physical education and coaching science, and then sport performance science. The way the department is trying to situate this is that if you know ahead of time or you make a decision that you might want to minor in something, this strength and conditioning program we think is for an undergraduate minor that allows you to eventually sit for a credentialing exam is fantastic. And so, Dave, with that being said, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. You can go ahead and advance the slide. Yeah, so 2030, the NSCA has set out to require for their gold standard, and so I'm going to talk to you a little bit very similar to what I talked about with exercise physiology, this accreditation. So NSCA has set out for their gold standard certification, which is your Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist, or the CSCS. All candidates for that certificate would have to come through an accredited program. We started this program last fall, and this semester we are ready to go up and put our application in. We'll do it at the undergraduate level, and we'll also do it at the graduate level through a certificate program. And so this minor will satisfy that. So our students are going to be able to go on to obtain this certification. Obviously, this is specifically for a strength coach, but other professions will get this certification as well. So Dr. Koulis's background is an athletic trainer, and at one time he had this CSCS. So athletic trainers, physical therapists, sport performance coaches, you name it. This is a highly sought after certificate or certification. In fact, if you want to be a strength coach in the NCAA, you have to have this certificate. Right now, nationally, the first time pass rate is right around 40 to 45%. Last year, in the first year that we rolled this program out, we passed at a rate of 80%. With the one student that didn't, so 4 out of 5, and the one student that didn't, he was too far along in his program to take any extra elective classes, so he just did kind of an independent study, and he missed passing on the first time by one question, and he got it on his second try. So we're really proud of the success that we've had so far in this young program, and look to continue to build upon it. So again, who is this for? And these are the four images that you see on our screen here are some just four of our graduates. These are actually before we did the minor. But the top left-hand corner is she is now the strength coach, a strength coach down at Florida State University. You can see her picture there. That's when she was at University of Southern Cal, where she won. She had the opportunity. Her beach teams won two national championships. That's Lucius Joyner in the San Diego Chargers outfit. Dennis Wilson, who works with who works in the military now. And then there's Kenzie down at the bottom, and she's in a private school in Raleigh as a head strength and conditioning coach. So obviously, strength and conditioning coaches, your middle school, high school physical education teachers or coaches. Waylon didn't add that to his talk, but Waylon's in the physical education degree, but he's getting the minor in strength and conditioning. He's in his first class right now and did quite well too on his first exam that he had today. So good job, Waylon. A little kudos to you. Performance coaches, personal trainers, physical therapists, like I've mentioned, and athletic trainers as well. Not going to bore you again with all of the class requirements, but there are 21 hours. You can get 9 of those hours in your other degree options. So if you're doing exercise physiology, 9 of those hours could count there. If you're doing physical education, 9 of those hours can count. And sport performance science, 9 of those hours count there as well. So from there, you're going to be looking at, and everyone takes the physiology of exercise and the biomechanics. Regardless of the degree option, you're going to take those 2 classes. All 3 of our undergraduate degrees have those as requirements. Let's say you took sport psych, and so that counts as your 9. Now you're going to be looking at 4 additional classes. Now, I say that sounds like a whole semester, which sounds like a lot of time, but it really is not. So when you take the Essentials of Strength and Conditioning course, which is the 4600, you can take the practicum with it. So you'll be doing both of our practicums, you're doing 10 hours a week, so 150 hours throughout the course of the semester, working under a certified strength and conditioning specialist. So that can be in our ECU's weight room. It could be in a physical therapy clinic. So depending on where you want to be and what you want to do, we will tailor those. One of those will have to go into a weight room. But if you're saying, you come to me and you said, Dave, I really want to do physical therapy. Those are a little bit harder to find, but we can definitely find those, and we can find those locally as well. How to apply? First of all, to add the minor, you're going to have 60 hours of credits. You have a declared major, so one of the 3 in kinesiology, and then a GPA of 2.5 or higher. The application process is pretty simple. We have 20 hours of observation hours. We've got currently right now, I've got 3 doing those right now. A 1-page purpose statement. I just want to know, it helps me find the practicums for you. You're telling me what your career goals are and how this minor will help you achieve those. And then a quick interview. You sit down with me and we talk, and we'll get you squared away. We just got one just this week. She finished up her observation hours and her letter of intent over the summer, and then we just met, and so we just added that to her degree work since she's in the exercise physiology degree option. You want me to do this, Tony? I think you're muted, Tony.
Yeah, you can. I just want to make sure we have enough time to have some of our students to talk and address this. So go ahead.
Yeah, so conference opportunities, I think Coach P touched on this earlier, but we encourage our students to get involved. Those can be local conferences, state level conferences, national conferences. Our department is really, really good about supporting our students in their travel. So we want you to get involved before you get to the end of your degree in some capacity. We've had our physical education students always do a great job, and they go out and they present their some of their work at these national conferences. So maybe this at some of their sites that they visited in school. Um, we have a lot of success at the undergraduate level too, presenting and our other degree options. So please, please get involved. And if you come here for an admission day, you're going to hear myself and you're hear Coach P talk about that a lot. The more you can get involved, the earlier you can get involved, the better connected you're going to be from day one. One thing that we haven't talked about, and I know we're running out of time here. But all three of our undergraduate degree program coordinators, while we do teach and we're in academics, at some point, or maybe even currently, we are still practitioners. We've all worked, so we understand the workforce, understand what employers are looking for, and so we try to bring that into our classroom settings as well. You can go ahead and advance that one. Extracurricular opportunities, study abroad. I know Mr. Ryder and Dr. Murray went to, I know it was, I think it was the UK. Is that right, Tony?
This is
This
UK.
summer?
Yep, this past summer.
And so great opportunity. You can do that. You're going to get course credit. You can get somewhere between 6 to 9, 12 hours of course credit at a time for this. Student and faculty collaboration, so service learning opportunities. Get involved in research, whether you think you want to do research or not. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like research if you're out there with Mr. Ryder on the soccer field or working with the track and field program. It may not even feel like research, but you're involved in that with the data collection process. Our Kinesiology Majors Club is fantastic, and those students go to national conferences as well, and through funding through the SGA and also our department. And then the minor options that we've talked about, the extra sports science minor. We didn't talk about that specifically. We're actually doing quite a bit of work on that program right now, but then the strength and conditioning program as well.
So just before we get into some questions and we can hear from some of the HHP ambassadors as well to give you their perspective. I would say overall, we are very excited with all the changes that we've made over the last couple of years. And we really think, hopefully you've received a kind of a wide scope of what our department offers at the undergraduate level. One thing that I want to make clear as well is that if you're a parent or if you're a student, you want to come here for physical therapy. We get lots of them, and we have that pre-health track specifically for that. But we've also built in to all of our degree options that space for someone to minor in strength and conditioning, for example. And the reason why I personally think that's important is, if things change and you decide you don't want to go to PT school, you can still graduate with one of these three fantastic degrees, be very marketable in the workplace. And even if you complete the strength and conditioning certification, you have the opportunity to sit for that exam. But Mr. Kimball also noted that a lot of people who become athletic trainers through their master's work or physical therapists through their master's work, having both certifications is also a huge benefit, especially at smaller schools where they don't have the resources to pay to pay one person just to be the strength and conditioning coordinator and another person to be the athletic trainer. So we think it really fits really well. And we think our curriculum across the degree programs is tightened enough to where if someone says, I don't want to do exercise physiology, I really love sports science, we can move them in over there really easily and seamlessly. One question that I saw that came up, only one question so far that was asked from Anna. She said, are you able to minor if you're in exercise physiology? Well, you can with our minor of strength and conditioning. We've built it specifically for that. You're really asking though about dance as a minor. That's outside of our college, and I don't know the exact requirements of that minor. I will say that the College of Health and Human Performance has excellent advisors. So if you come in here as an intended major in one of our degree programs and you think you want to minor in dance, you let your advisors know ASAP, because they can help create a plan for you to get your general education credits, and things like that in the major, and then any minor that you might want to have as well. And so most of our degree programs have the capacity to have other minors, like the sports performance science. There's a variety of minors that people can complete with that. So what I would do is contact the advisors, and maybe one of them here can speak to the capacity of our degree programs to allow for other minors. But I think the key with that is you can't go to your advisor or mentor your senior year saying, I want to minor in something else as well. Then you start talking about a little bit more of a delay potentially and when you can graduate, if that minor is important to you overall. So if you have other questions, please keep putting them in this chat. But now I kind of want to direct this to some of our HHP ambassadors as well, so they can give you their experiences going through our department and our programs. Hopefully they will echo what we've already said, and give some of their personal experiences as well.
Hey, so
Go ahead, Waylon.
I'm Waylon. As Mr. Kimball noted, I'm doing the physical education major as well as minoring in strength and conditioning. Sorry, I left that out earlier. But like Dave said, they do a great job of making sure we get involved. So I've been to Shape. I went to Shape last year. That was my first year going. I plan on going my junior year and my senior year. Um, Me and it's really very student led. But they pretty much anything you want to do, they'll go for it. And that's something I've really enjoyed. And as they said, I mean, it's pretty much cost free to go. Like it's just amazing enrichment experiences that I think have really helped me, even just in my classes so far. And I know they're going to help me later on. But yeah, I've had a great time. The professors are amazing. I know they talked about Professor Ryder earlier, but he's an amazing professor to have. And um, he does a great job. He's very attentive. I have Coach P, obviously, and he does a great job as well as Coach Kimball. But honestly, it's been a great experience being in the College of Health and Human Performance.
Eli?
Absolutely. I'll reintroduce myself. My name is Eli. Waylon is obviously on the education side of things. I'm an exercise physiology major. And I really kind of wanted to talk about my experience because while I want to go to med school, it hasn't always been that way. And I haven't had to go change my major. So at first I was a pre-PT, and then I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe I want to go to PA school. So then I was like, oh, I'll be pre-PA. Then I finally made up my mind about wanting to go to med school, and this whole time really nothing changed. You know, like you talk to so many people, and they're like, "Oh, well, I changed what I wanted to do, so now I've got to restart everything." And I really think having an exercise physiology background is an asset for someone looking to go into those pre-health fields. In terms of just prevention, when you think about lifestyle changes, or when you think about treating people who are injured or already have ailments of a certain sort, so it brings a really, really cool perspective towards that. And I also wanted to echo kind of what Waylon was saying with the department as well. I've had Dr. Ryder, and he is truly one of the best. He's awesome. I've had Dr. Murray, who does a lot of stuff with motor skills and the eyes and the brain, and he's great. Dr. Dubose, but no professor feels like they're unapproachable in this department. And I can truly say that I've taken some other biology and chemistry classes, and some people sometimes in those big classrooms it can be really intimidating to go speak to these people, but in this department that's just not the case. Their office is always open. You come talk to them, have a question after class, they're happy to answer it. And I wanted to touch on the research aspect as well. I'm about to start my research next semester. I'm still finalizing my topic, but I've talked to a kinesiology professor, and I've told some of my other friends about what I'm interested in. And these are like bio and chem majors, and they're like, man, exercise physiology research is the coolest thing ever. And these people are synthesizing proteins and everything like that in their labs. But one thing I'm interested in doing is like the changes in the placenta in pregnant women and how it's affected in exercise. So kind of like that aspect of things. Like that's so unique, and it's truly something that has been a very blessing to be a part of the HHP and specifically the kinesiology department.
Thank you, Eli. Eli touched on it. With any type of experience that students get in our department, we do pride ourselves on. While we are a fairly large university, when you get into these degree program in our department, it's hard to get lost, and most of the faculty who teach you will not let you get lost, and that's in a positive way. And I think most students, if you want an opportunity to do research or to go to a conference and things like that, we really truly do our best to accommodate those types of things. For those of you who are on here, if you're just thinking about pre-PT or the end career goal, one of the reasons why we as a department really do like to emphasize having some sort of research experience, even if you don't want to be a researcher, is because it teaches you critical thinking skills and problem solving skills that allows you to go to graduate school and succeed in whatever you want. It allows you to go into the workforce and succeed with those skills. And so that's why we think as a department, they're really important to us. And the research, as Mr. Kemple said, it can range from cellular in a microscope with some of our exercise physiology faculty to whole body with stuff with Mr. Ryder does with the soccer team and things like that. So classroom sizes, do you give extra support academically if it is needed in a course? So I can tell you right now, because I am teaching a structural kinesiology class this semester. We've instituted what we're calling an active learning lab. So it's time where our graduate assistants outside of our office hours have dedicated to, if students have any questions and things like that, they can come to them. And we have a lot of different materials that we don't necessarily use in class, where students can get a little bit more in touch. And the university also has the Pirate Academic Success Center, PASC. I believe is the acronym. We've had a lot of our students go there and get great support. As a department chair, I get asked by the PASC, is this person a good student to be a tutor? Because our students, former students who do well in our classes, end up being a tutor at this place, for biomechanics or exercise physiology. And I'm like, yes, that kid's great. And then, so the Pirate Academic Success Center is there, not just for kinesiology, but for all of the university. And we try to make sure that there is someone in place as much as we can there as well. And then to echo what Eli had just said, and I think Waylon said it as well, is our doors are always open. So we give extra support whenever, if a kid walks into my office and says, I'm having a hard time with it, if I'm not in a meeting or anything like that and the door is open, come on in, let's discuss. And most of our faculty embrace that. As far as classroom sizes, it depends on the class itself. Some of our lower level, 2000 level classes might have as much as 50 or 60, but when you get to the upper level classes, they're generally much smaller. They can range anywhere from 20 to 40 or 30. And so you're no longer in some of these general education classes that have a couple of hundred. Really and truly, the faculty generally start remembering your name, and they recognize you by face. And so I think if Waylon or Eli can speak to that themselves, I'm not paying them to say all of this, but they're just saying their experiences. What other questions do you have? Jeff or Dave, do you have anything else that we haven't covered?
I would say the biggest thing for prospective students that are going to come in, um, don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. I think every student that has trusted us, maybe you're interested in research and you're a freshman or sophomore, you don't have any clue. Um, if you sit down and talk with us, we can find someone that might be the right fit and you get those experiences. I know within physical education, I taught for a long time within this county and have connections with coaching all through our county and other counties as well. But our students come in, and if they're interested in teaching and coaching, if you want some experience, all you have to do is let me know. And I teach a class that I've got exercise physiology majors, and some of those kids are interested in coaching as well. So not just necessarily my students, anybody that wants that experience, you just have to contact me or contact someone that's doing research and we plug you in and get you involved. But you have to take that step. We can't force you to go to conference with us and have fun. We can't force you to go coach. But the ones that have done it can look back and say it was the best move I made. It may be a little bit scary, but we're never going to put you in a situation where you're going to fail. So just think about that when you start school.
Yeah, I would echo what Coach P has said. Get involved early. Um, that that first step, it looks like you're about to go through a lake, but then when you make that first step and you step into that, you realize that lake's only an inch deep and you can walk right through it, but it can be daunting. But put yourself out there and get involved.
Question in the chat for Eli.
Yes. So Campus EMS started about a year and a half ago, and it is now somebody who's three people started it who are now graduated. But basically, yes, I took an EMT course last summer, received my state certification, and that was about 3 months long. And I've really had a good experience so far. We run 911 calls on campus on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. We do standby for the football games, campus rec and wellness events as well. So you're getting to work with all sorts of athletic injuries as well as like medical emergencies as well. So I can't speak enough as to how cool that has been so far.
Any other questions while we have everybody up here? I apologize. I had to come outside because it was nice out, but I do have 264 running behind me. So if you hear cars, that's what that is. Okay, well, I'll jump in now for my spiel with just general HHP. So, there I am in charge of our scholarship program. So I always like to plug our scholarships. There are a ton of opportunities for big ECU students, HHP students, and then specifically for departments like kinesiology. We love to support students in any way we can, and financially, we know is a big sell and a big help for students and their families to know that they're not going to be saddled with that burden of debt years and years to come. So we really look for opportunities for students to apply for those scholarships and get them and then meet with their donors. Our donors are usually alumni or friends of the college, and they are very supportive in our students and their endeavors and like to know what they're doing. So that's always great. I'd like to plug that in. Scholarships open for incoming students October 1st, I believe. So if you log into our ECU award portal, you'll be able to see those for incoming students, and then general scholarships for any students on campus incoming will be November 1st. And then finally, I like to plug our ECU open house, which I'm sure our friends at admissions love. We will have that on October 25th. That's a Saturday. So mark your calendars to come see us. You will see all of these wonderful people in person and learn more about the programs and see our spaces, classrooms, labs, what you can think of. We will be there. So I hope that you all will join us on the 25th.
And I don't mean to cut. Yeah, Jennifer, there's a question that Dave just answered about people interested in athletic training and any type of program or internships. Yes, as Dave said, you can work with some of the sports that are willing to, like football, to pay undergraduate students to get some sort of experience with them. The way our programs are situated, athletic training requires a master's degree now, just like a graduate degree for that. So we don't have an athletic training program, but our exercise physiology program, if you were a pre-health major, you would definitely have all the prerequisite courses and additional courses that we think prepare you to be an athletic trainer. I'm an athletic trainer. I'm not practicing, but I am an athletic trainer. I went through that earlier in my life, and I love the field. I think our pro exercise physiology program would really well prepare you for pre-health for it. And consider the minor in strength and conditioning. The a dual certification you could get if you sat for the CSCS exam out of undergrad and you went right to an athletic training program for your master's, and you could end up with both certifications. You're going to be really attractive in the workforce overall.
Yes, I'll piggyback off that. So we do love experiential learning as well in HHP. So that hands-on experience. There's a question about relationship with the local hospital, so I'll let y'all answer that one as well. I will plug that ECU students, there's a couple jobs open right now for some football positions. So if you want to look at what those look like for future reference, I know there was a film editing position. There was something up in the Town Bank Tower, a hospitality position. I had an exercise physiology student in my co-ed class the other day ask about it, so I may point him back to y'all as he starts. But yes, so I'll let you answer the question about the hospital.
So ECU Health is our local hospital. It used to be Vidant, but it's been ECU Health now for a little while. We have faculty that are big into research over at the East Carolina Diabetes and Obesity Institute. They do a lot of great research, clinical research, bench research over there, and they collaborate with faculty over in the Brody School of Medicine as well. And we also have people in, I can't remember the name of the class, one of our exercise physiology classes, I believe it may be a graduate class, I may misspeak, but they've done some rotations over there at the hospital as well. So I think we also have relationships with people, not just at the hospital, but over on Allied Health. With physical therapy, with occupational therapy, specifically with physical therapy. Some of our undergraduate students have gotten some of their research experiences with Dr. Mearden over in physical therapy because they do a lot of similar research that we do. So we have just a natural collaboration. So we have collaborations with people on the west side of campus, Allied Health, and the hospital in general.
And I will say I came from the medical school and we worked a lot with HHP students in various clinical settings. They would come down to the simulation lab and kind of work in there, mostly in the human performance lab at HHP, but it is definitely a collaborative effort with West Campus. So not just medical school, but the CRNA, allied health, um, sometimes nursing if we need them. But yes, it was very collaborative relationship across both campuses.
Yeah, just one last thing. I was just over at ECUPT in our Allied Health program or West Campus. Um, and I saw one of our undergraduate students in there in the lab today doing shadowing hours with one of our clinical faculty. Saw one of our graduates who's now a research tech there. We also do internships in cardiac rehab quite extensively and their outpatient side of things. And then also in their wellness, they have a fantastic worksite health promotion. So they're exercise specialists. Those students, interns, and their employees oftentimes will come from our program as well.
That question from hopefully I won't mispronounce your name, but I probably will. Sebal. If your long-term goal is PA or PT, would this be a good route? I've known one of my previous athletic training students went straight into PA school and he did great. Obviously, with PA, PT, occupational therapy, one of the first things you're going to need to do is look up the prerequisites to get into those programs. Our degree options allow you to fulfill those prerequisites, but what's going to really help you more so than just getting all the coursework and getting involved is for you to be able to do some observation hours with the PA, observation hours with the PT. Our seminar class, Kind 2000, right, Dave, addresses some of these different career options for students, because a lot of students think they might come in and think they might want to do one thing, and then they pivot, and that's completely okay. And so if you're undecided whether you want to be PT or PA, I think that's completely okay as well. Our department has had a lot of success with having our graduates get into allied healthcare professions, getting into graduate school here at ECU, but elsewhere too. One of our previous exercise physiology graduates is now in, I believe, Indiana, Kendall Brockman, and I think she's up in Indiana now for PT school. So it's not just here where people apply; they apply pretty much anywhere, and they do a really good job.
And then, yes, Dave, thank you for answering. We are located on East Campus. If you main campus, whichever one you want to call it, they're interchangeable terms. But yes.
Yeah. Tony and I right now are in Minges, so we're right by athletics. We share space with athletics. We're in between the basketball arena and the pool.
Great questions. Anybody else before I let y'all have your evening back?
I would just say if anyone has any questions afterwards, after we hang up, feel free to reach out to any one of us. And if we don't know the answer, we can point you in the direction where someone will have a better answer than what we can give you. So please feel free to reach out. And most of the time, people have questions after they hang up. So think about it. I have a daughter who's a sophomore here now. She's in engineering. We love ECU. And the kids fell in love with ECU for a lot of the reasons that Eli and Waylon had already stated, with having a lot of opportunity at ECU and being able to get involved and take advantage of those opportunities.
And I just wanted to mention one thing as well. We, over in undergraduate admissions, we obviously work with all of the general application for admission. I know that after looking at the folks joining us this evening, we do have some high school seniors. And so I just wanted to encourage you, if you are interested in applying for admission to ECU, this week is one of our free application weeks. So if you apply this week via CFNC or directly through our website, not Common App, unfortunately, but through our website or CFNC or via the NC Connect process, which is new this year, we will be waiving the $75 application fee until this Friday at 11:59 p.m. We do have another free application week that we're a part of through the College Foundation of North Carolina, October 20th through the 26th, but encourage you definitely to, we have kind of our own one this week for any students who are interested in being eligible for admission for the Honors College. So if you want to be eligible for Honors College, you have to apply before October 15th. So since that other free application week comes after that, we encourage students to apply this week. And I'll also share my email in the chat just in case y'all have any general admissions questions.
Thank you. I totally forgot it was free application week. I meant to add that, and we've been sharing it all over social. So if you guys like to follow, HHP is very active on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all of the above. We'd love to interact with people. So definitely check that out. Our wonderful social media gal is on top of it, sharing everything we're doing. If you want to see what students are doing and what we're kind of getting into at HHP, follow us there. Anything else that anybody needs to share? Questions for us? This has been a great time with y'all, just learning and great interactions with questions. So thank y'all. I hope that you learned a lot from our amazing faculty, students, staff, all of the above. This has been wonderful. And everybody's email is in the chat. So reach out to any one of us. Everybody here is very responsive, I can say from personal experience. So they've been wonderful. But with that, I think I will let everybody go for the night. Thank you all so much.
Thank
And
you.
I will get this recording to Max so we can get it posted if you all need to look back for it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks, everybody.